While Mercia's relationship with Rathbone had been civil by and large, he was proving a hard man to really get to know. He was clearly a consummate pirate, despite possessing a clipped English accent more suited to an officer of the Navy. His skin was bronzed by the sun, his shoulders were broad, and his head was shorn to reveal a scar or two. Out of all the crew, he was most fastidious about his appearance, and had come aboard laden with fine cotton shirts and gleaming shoes. Rathbone made a point of shaving every day, and took every opportunity to trim and tidy himself. Mercia wondered if Ramsay knew more about the man, and resolved to ask, assuming any of them survived the night. More rocks were visible now, and the ship seemed to be sailing between two rows of stone columns that jutted out of the water in rows like huge teeth. Lifeless and sheer, they rose up on either side of the magpie's wing. Rathbone suspected he could almost reach out and touch the stone as the ship bobbed wildly on the waves. "He's gone mad!" Rathbone yelled, though Mercia's only response was to fully furl the sails, leaving nothing but their momentum to carry them forward. The looming darkness was almost upon them now, closer than closer still, and Rathbone braced himself to hear the prow snap against the cliffs and feel the deck lurch beneath his feet. Suddenly, there was no more rain pounding down on them, and Rathbone found that he could hear things again, as Ramsay's call for light cut through the air. It took the crew a few moments to obey, groping for the ship's lanterns in the dark with the frozen and fumbling fingers, but one by one the flickering flames sprang into being and cast pools of orange light across their surroundings. The feeble fire was like a summer sun compared to the darkness they sailed through, and more than bright enough to reveal the truth of their whereabouts. The magpie's wing had sailed through a crack in the cliff face, and was now drifting through a large cave filled with seawater, moving lazily toward the far wall. They dropped anchor at once, bringing the ship to a full stop, and took in their surroundings, as Ramsay moved to stand with them. The walls of the cavern were slick from the spray of the sea, and the dark sandy brown rock was peppered with smaller exits and pathways, save for the view to starboard, which offered an unobstructed view of wind-swept shore and the turbulent ocean beyond it. The walls extended upward to form a series of high archways, a ceiling of sorts that provided protection from the storm. There were gaps overhead, through which vegetation hung down, and the sluicing rain cascaded in a series of miniature waterfalls. The nearest was just a few feet away, and Shan carefully hooked a bucket onto a long pole and filled it to the brim with fresh water. One by one they filled their flasks and drank deeply in mute appreciation, until Shan, ever cheerful, broke the silence. "Funny how you only ever realize you're hungry when you stop being thirsty," he mused. "Are we sure there's no food left?" "Never mind your stomach," Mercia admonished. "Getting warm and dry is more important." "Easy for you to say. It's not your stomach." Ramsay drained the last of his flask and stretched. "We can burn the floats if they'll take," he declared. "Let's start a fire. It won't do if we all get sick. Then we'll see what we have to celebrate with, eh? We're wet, but we'll dry out. We're hungry, but we'll find food. Today, we four have made it through the Devil's Shroud. If that doesn't call for a belly full of grog, then nothing ever will again."